Welcome to Diplomatic Passport here on Zimpaper's television network, the daily weekday show that keeps you up to date with developments the world over, in the region and of course in Zimbabwe with regards COVID-19. I'm Robin Kundiwa. Now first, let's take a look at the latest COVID-19 statistics in Zimbabwe as of the latest data released by the Ministry of Health and Childcare. So Zimbabwe now has 3,092 confirmed cases, including 924 recoveries and 53 deaths. 213 new cases of COVID-19 were recorded yesterday alone. Now these are 205 local transmission cases and 8 returnees from South Africa. We regret, of course, to announce 12 deaths. These include 9 males and 3 females, all from Harare. Now to date, the cumulative number of people tested stands at 129,899. Harare, of course, is still the epicenter with 978 cases, followed by Bulawayo, which has 353 cases. Of course, as you can see, the figures there are getting alarming, especially with that grand number of people having passed on in one city alone. Now, the World Health Organization Director General, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, called on young people to take cautionary measures to protect themselves and others from COVID-19. He encouraged the youth to play it safe and help in the pandemic.
We have said it before, and we will say it again. Young people are not invincible. Young people can be infected. Young people can die. And young people can transmit the virus to others. That's why young people must take the same precautions to protect themselves and protect others as everyone else.
The majority of young people who are infected tend to have more mild disease, but that is not always consistent. We know that young people can develop severe disease. We know that young people can end up in ICU. And we know that young people can die. So maybe you are healthy and you are young, but you may pass it on to somebody who you live with, who may be more vulnerable.
In many cases, this disease, while it may be mild or it may be moderate, it can affect many organs. And we just don't know what the long-term impacts of those infections will be. Why take the chance? Why take the risk? So play safe. Use your brain, use your mind. Don't take a risk that you cannot quantify.
The youth, of course, being taught to wisen up to the reality of COVID-19. And of course, as a nation, Zimbabwe has wisened up because we've just come from the burial of the most high-ranking person to die of COVID-19, the late former Minister of Agriculture, Perence Shiri, who, of course, as was confirmed yesterday, succumbed to COVID-19 as well. And still looking at people who safeguard our country, World Ranger Day is celebrated today on the 31st of July to commemorate rangers killed or injured in the line of duty and to celebrate the work rangers do to protect the world's natural and cultural heritage. Climate change, poaching and armed conflict are some of the challenges facing World Heritage today. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic has amplified these issues affecting sites and the managers who protect them. To discuss this, we have Zimbabwe Parks and Wildlife spokesperson Tinashe Farao, who some of you may recall has joined us in an earlier edition of COVID-19, and indeed we had promised to have him again today to celebrate our rangers. Tinashe, thank you for joining us yet again on Diplomatic Passport.
Thank you, Robert.
Again, perhaps give us an insight into today. Why is today important and why has this day been set aside for rangers?
Thank you. Today is 31st of July 2020, which is a World Rangers Day, a day which was set aside to commemorate the men and women who are looking after wildlife, not only in Zimbabwe, but also globally. These are the brave men and women who endure a lot of problems in line of duty. They go through a lot of problems, not only threat from poaching, from poachers, but also threat from wildlife itself. They also face a lot of threats from diseases, because as you all know, most of our parks, they are located in Region 5, where they have to go through extreme weather patterns. The temperatures are high in most cases, and most of those areas, there are a lot of tsetse fly, mosquito, and those are the people that also provide a lot of security to the wildlife that we talk about, to the tourism that we boast about over the years. So the day was set aside so that at least we can commemorate, or we can acknowledge and also appreciate what these people do for our wildlife.
And this year has been particularly a challenge because, as you said, there's been a lot of human wildlife conflict, and we also lost some rangers earlier on, last quarter of last year and beginning of this year. Tell us about those people and perhaps to put some life into their names so that we can really remember them for their active work.
Thank you very much. On the 31st of December 2019, we received tragic news that some of our rangers in Kariba were abducted by suspected poachers from Zambia. It was confirmed, and a day or two later, they were found dammed in the mighty Kariba Dam. It's very unfortunate. These cases, they happen almost every day. I think over the last 10 years, we've lost about 20 of our officers, not only to poachers, but also to attacks by wild animals. During that period, we also have problems where some of our officers have been snake bites, tsetse fly. Some have permanent disabilities because most of these men and women, they spend 21 days in what we call extended patrols, looking after this wildlife. And in most cases, as you all know, we are going through a lot of problems as a country economically, and in most cases, they don't have enough equipment to do their work. Not only the rifles that they use, they might not have enough boots, enough uniforms, enough of everything, including water and other things. So when they are patrolling, these are the challenges that they face. But coming back to the issue of the incident in Kariba, which is still fresh in our mind, we want to take this opportunity to commemorate and also to celebrate their lives, because these are what we call conservation heroes. They died in line of duty, and as a wildlife management authority, we are doing everything in our powers to make sure that the lives of our rangers is protected, and we are doing more training, more equipment to make sure that at least they are safe and they can defend themselves, not only from poachers but also from wild animals. We have had a lot of incidences where some of our rangers have been attacked either by hippo while they're patrolling our lakes in some parts of the country. We've had buffaloes attacking our officers. The snake bites that I've mentioned, the tsetse, some of these people, they've suffered permanent disabilities, and these are the problems that they are facing. But this is what we are doing. But the most important thing, the good news that we have just received is the Oxford University recently did a study of 152 countries, and we became number 5 out of that 152 countries. And this is the good work that these men and women are doing to look after our wildlife. And I think the outcome of that study will not have come at a better time, considering the negative narrative that people always churn out in social media and in other sites. And it's very unfortunate. Most of that narrative comes from people, either they're faceless, they are not known, who are they, so it becomes difficult for us to engage them so that we can work together to at least acknowledge the good work that these people are doing. So this research from Oxford, I think it's a pat on the back that we've been expecting. We've been criticized, people have been saying a lot of unfounded allegations, the narrative of corruption within our ranks, the narrative of incompetence, which is not true. And I think the research from Oxford has exonerated us, the management, and also the rangers that are on the ground, the rangers who are at the forefront. Those are the frontline people who are looking after wildlife. We cannot talk of the booming wildlife population in this country without mentioning these people. We cannot talk of, we all know that we have the second largest elephant population in the world after, of course, Botswana. That's not an accident. It's a result of good management practices spearheaded by these men and women. We have the third largest rhino population in Africa after, of course, Namibia, Kenya, South Africa, and we are the fourth. And all those things, they are done because of those men and women who are looking after our animals. Those brave men and women, they also do a lot of fire management, especially during this period where we are in the peak period of fire. They also do a lot of things. So, and those people, today is a special day for them. Today is a special day to acknowledge that good work that they are doing. Over the years, we used to do a lot of celebrations, commemorations, but because of this COVID-induced lockdown, we will not be doing that. But they need to know that we are with them, we are together. I think we will continue to support them so that their work becomes easier, so that they enjoy what they love most. What drives them and what drives us is to make sure that at least we remain a world leader in sustainable conservation. And because we remain a world leader, we have almost every animal that you can think of, all your key species, and their populations are held. And coming back to the issue of the Oxford research, most of the countries or most of the people who criticize us, they're not anywhere near in the top 10. They're not anywhere near even in top 20. The United States of America, I think they are number 19th. And the only two developed countries which are in top 10 are Norway and Canada. But coming back to that issue, if you look the resources that we commit to make sure that our animals are safe, we don't have much in terms of resources. We have other social competing needs that we struggle with, your education, your health, and other things. But the little resources that we get, we make sure that at least we use them to sustainably utilize our resources. And I think we are excited, we are happy that we'll continue to do more so that we deal with the problems that we are facing, especially issues of human wildlife, because these are the same people when we receive distress calls. Those are the same people when rural communities call us when they have distress calls. The same rangers are the ones who react to problem animals. They're the same rangers who risk their lives during the dead of the night, during this chilly weather, making sure that our communities are safe.
And in recent times, I'm told we've got 50 deaths and 40 injuries. And can you confirm some of your rangers part of those numbers of people injured or deceased in the human-wildlife conflict?
The 50 people that we have lost since January are rural communities who share borders with wildlife. And I think we are now sounding like a broken record. We've always been saying our animals are overpopulated. And because the animals are overpopulated, they then encroach into human settlements in search of water, in search of food. And most of our people, they compete for water with animals. And because these animals, they're overpopulated, they've destroyed the vegetation that they rely on in our protected areas or in our national parks. And because the vegetation is destroyed, they then move to search greener pastures in communities. They then destroy people's crops, in other ways impoverishing our people. And these are the challenges that we are facing. And the same rangers are those people who react to all those problems. Only on Tuesday, Wednesday, we lost an elderly man in Wange who was killed by an elephant while he was looking for his cattle. And these are the problems. And the first people who react to all those issues are our rangers. And of course, they work with other security forces to make sure that at least they are safe. But the most important thing is to make sure that our people are equipped, we have resources to make sure that we react within the shortest possible time. But all those challenges, now we have been saying for years that tourism is not the panacea to conservation. We need to explore other avenues so that at least our communities are safe, our animals are safe. Now that tourism is almost dead for now, how do we raise money to react to all those problems?
I wanted to say, because of COVID-19, those little subsidies you'd get from us visiting the national parks and whatsoever, that's all dried up, and yet you used to take those little bits of money to help get resources to look after wildlife. Now that there's nothing, how are you getting by? What are you doing to sustain?
I think it is the commitment of these same rangers. We have countries who have far much better resources who are losing their wildlife. We have countries who are much more developed, who have gone through worse things than what we have gone through as a country, who have lost their wildlife. But because of the dedication and the commitment of those brave men and women, we still have almost every animal species in this country, despite obviously globally, for example, elephants are threatened with extinction, but our elephants as a country are not threatened with extinction. In fact, they are overpopulated. But because the resources now that we have dried up, we have been working with a lot of partners, what we call conservation partners, that have been assisting us. They've been giving us fuel. They've been also giving us vehicles. They've been also giving our rangers rations so that when they go for patrol, they have something to eat for those 21 days away from their family. They've been giving us tents, and we are eternally grateful to those people, and we continue to ask for more so that people can come.
So you're saying companies and individuals are actually free to come and assist the authority by giving things that you may need, resources that you may need. So can we say right now, can you make an impassioned plea, for example, to anybody who may be watching, to say, can you come and also assist so that we all come together as conservation heroes to try and make sure that we look after our natural resources?
Thank you, Robert. You know, we have been getting a lot of assistance from corporates, from companies, from even international organizations in terms of running our operations. As I'm speaking to you now, we are deploying our officers to protect the same wildlife. Our rangers are deployed to do anti-poaching. We are reacting to problem animal controls. And the 50 people that we have lost over the years, and I think we have received more than 1,000 cases from distress calls from communities, and we need resources to make sure that we react to those things in the shortest possible time. So we are appealing for help for those who can. We are open, we are transparent. If you donate to the authority, to the Wildlife Management Authority, be rest assured that your money will be put to good use. And over the years, if you look, especially over the last 3-4 years, we've been doing everything to make sure that we are transparent, we are open, and because of that rich legacy of conservation, which dates back to pre-independence to post-independence, we've been doing well, and we cannot only do that alone as an authority. We want to work with organizations, companies who can assist us to deal with the problems that we're facing. We have spoken about the issue of overpopulation of our animals. The sure way of ensuring that our wildlife is safe, not only for the benefit of this current generation, but also for future generations, we need to do translocations or depopulation. We depopulate where we have more animals, we put them to where we have less animals, but we don't have resources. It's a very expensive process. In 2018...
And it also helps safeguard the communities. And perhaps, finally, there's something I wanted to go back onto, because we talked about this the last time you were here, and I wanted to look at a specific issue, that human-wildlife conflict, and you coming in to assist. And we had the story of that surviving child who had been attacked by a lion and had also come into the city to get further assistance. And I know you were actively involved in making sure that child was comfortably assisted. Can you give us an update on that particular case and how you as an authority have assisted that child?
We have a very unfortunate incident which happened in Chipinge where a teenage boy survived a lion attack. It's not something that is easy. The young man was picking cotton, and unfortunately he was attacked, but fortunately he survived the lion attack. He received some medical treatment in Chipinge, but obviously for further treatment he had to come to Harare for all other tests that were done. As an authority, because we don't have a policy in place which can assist the victims of wildlife conflict, but we've been trying to put mechanisms in place to create a fund where we can put that money so that we can buy medicine for most of the people, for the survivors. We have, for the 40 people that I've mentioned who have permanent injuries, some now they can't even fend for their children because they are now permanently disabled because of those. So we are trying to create a fund which is open for everyone to participate so that at least we can also support our people who are injured. We can, in particular the young boy who is about 17, 18. He's a very young man. So we also, those are some of the people that we do. We have also done another part of our corporate social responsibility about last year when a man was killed by an elephant in Marange. the surviving children, we also assisted them in getting some employment, so that because they lost the breadwinner. So these are some of the things that we do. But the long and short of it, that we don't have enough resources. We are in the process of doing a wildlife policy, so that at least we have something in place on how best we can assist these people, how best we can assist even those who are losing their livestock. We know people their crops are destroyed, their livestock, their cattle, their livelihoods. So those people need to be supported. But this is a plea to all Zimbabweans, with the international community, to say, let's work together to protect and conserve our wildlife. This is our wildlife, and we are the custodians. We must do it in the best interest of ourselves as a people, and also for the benefit of our future generations.
Tinashe Farao, always a pleasure. Thank you for coming through today. And indeed, we would like to celebrate the brave men and women, both living and those who unfortunately may have passed on, who help make sure that we look after the integrity of the beauty of our country, our heritage, that beauty of our bounteous land. And of course, we want to celebrate going into the future, those who may want to join that roll call of illustrious men and women. It's always, the door is always open for you at the Management Authority. They're always looking for people to come and join and make sure that we look after the heritage of our nation as frontline staff. Now, that's all I've had for you today. And keep your contributions coming to my Twitter handle at ZimRobbie, that's ZIMROBBIE, and my email address is robinkondiwa@ztn.co.zw. So from me, Robin Kondiwa, and from the entire team here at Diplomatic Passport, until next week, Monday, thank you for staying at home and staying safe, and let's pay tribute to our men and women, our rangers on the front line. Today is your day.